Welcome, dear students. Our current session is on the issues of register and accent during the 19th and the 20th century. I hope and expect that by the end of this session, you would be able to understand what were the problems related to register and accent during these times and how they were treated. Well, my dear students, when it comes to RP, the standard pronunciation, received pronunciation, and regional accents, actually a non-regional accent based on the speech of great public schools has been accepted as a standard inside English. That has been taken as received pronunciation, a pronunciation that does not reflect. RP is a pronunciation that is a standard pronunciation that does not reflect any of the dialects. This is a kind of a neutral, I would say, standard English pronunciation. Generally that you would hear from the, the traditional kind of news reporters on BBC, all right? So, the variations of pronunciations of different dialects we do not find in that. However, this received pronunciation somehow over the times it has lost its significance. Why it has lost its significance? Because with the growing consciousness, with the growing kind of awareness on the importance or the significance of the local dialects and of the varieties of pronunciations, what has happened? Most of them have become acceptable. So that rigidity or that kind of strictness that only this standard of pronunciation is the correct pronunciation, the rest of pronunciations are incorrect, they need to be disapproved of, that attitude came to an end during the 19th and the 20th century gradually. As people, educated at public schools have also lost their monopoly of power and education, because now education spread everywhere in England. Today, majority of the university students, and when here I say university students, of course I mean university students in England. They are not the speakers of RP. They are not the speakers of received pronunciation. And it is from them that a large part of the English professional classes are recruited. Later on, these are the students who go into the market, who would be hired by different companies, etc., and who would hold important professional positions, in the market. So they would make the working class, the upper stratum of the working class, the social class that would be educated. If they do not speak RP, it means gradually, RP is losing its significance. Also, most of the school teachers too do not use RP now, and they use certain regional accents, so that the influence of the schools is towards, this kind of approach where, it's acceptable to come with your own identity, with your own pronunciation that shows your area, where do you belong to. How I would give you an example. In the Pakistani context, there are some people, who would immediately tell you, as soon as you would speak to them, they would say, oh, so you are from Lahore. Oh, so you are from Karachi. Oh, you are from Rawalpindi. How do they tell that? Well, the person who is speaking Urdu. But, the choices in pronunciation that are made and the accent tells them. So same is the case in England. Every area has its own differences. Every dialect has its own pronunciation differences as well. But, there is, like as we have a standard Urdu, in the same way, there is a standard English. However, gradually the acceptance of all these varieties has happened through these 2 centuries. RP now is the accent usually taught to foreigners learning British English. So that is, where it is limited. Rise in the prestige of all national and regional accents in Britain, if all accents are accepted, and because of this increase in the travel and in the communication and in the use of internet and all that, a lot of people are coming together. if you go today to today's England, Birmingham is more like what I would say Mirpur. Half of the population, I would say, belongs to, Pakistan, and most of them to Mirpur. So, you would listen to a certain accent there. So, these are the regional varieties. In England, you would come across a lot of people from the east, a lot of Bangladeshis, a lot of people from Nepal, from India for that matter, and of course from Pakistan as well. So, so many people, so many nationalities within England are using, English language, that RP within England has lost gradually, its status. And when it goes beyond the boundaries of England, of course, now English has spread worldwide. So, very respected, sometimes very, very respected, newscasters, broadcasters now on BBC can be seen who would use their local accents, the accents of their own dialects. However, it does not mean that the prejudice is over. Still, there is some, prejudice, a considerable amount of prejudice against certain regional accents, the accents that we call broad accents. As far as soft accents are concerned, well, they have been accepted. Overall, what I would say is there is a present-day tendency in the Britain for the acceptability of variety of pronunciations, because that takes into account the usage that is found in the society.